it's your girl Brittany here, and welcome to Brit Positive Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is doing well out there. To keep up with us here, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can listen to us on YouTube and Podbean. Now, if you're listening to us on YouTube, then click that subscribe button and notification bell as well to get notified to see when we have posted. And if you're listening to us on Podbean, then you can click that follow button to join the Brit Positive Fam Bam and download this podcast so you can listen to it on the go. Also, you can check out our merch store by clicking the link down below. Show your support in wearing our merch and basically saying not to myself, but to everyone out there that you're always going to be focusing on the positive and ignoring the negative. Okay? Now, we have our Brit Positive quote of the day, which is stop saying I wish and start saying I will. A lot of the times we want to do something and we just need to go and do it. And believe me, I'm in this category myself. Sometimes it's like I'm thinking it, but I'm not doing it. But a lot can happen, guys, if we just get up and do it. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Now, I have a special guest with me for this podcast because it's our top picks, and I will never do this without the one and only Andre. Woo!
Hello, everyone. How you doing today?
I'm glad you're back, bro.
Yeah, you asked me to do this topic, and I just couldn't say no.
I didn't just ask you. I told you. You're going to have to do it because I can never do this without you.
Man, these are the moments.
Okay, so are you ready for our topic for today, Dre?
Oh, I've been ready for quite a while.
Okay, so our top picks for this episode is throwback TV shows in the 90's and early 2000's.
Whoa.
So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it is a Thursday. And, I see on Instagram where it's like throwback Thursdays, things like that. And so I was thinking, I don't know, during this whole time with us being quarantined and, COVID-19, I just remember like feeling nostalgic. And I was looking back on TV shows I used to watch and, things like way back in the past, and I was like, you know what? I think we all need a little bit of nostalgia in the atmosphere just to bring back those good old days, knowing that good days are coming again. Okay, so the first one we got here, we're gonna have like our list of shows that not just ones we've watched, but ones we are suggesting for you guys to check out if you have the time, and if you've never seen them, get on them. Okay, so Dre, you want to start off? Since you're my guest, you can give me your first top pick of a throwback show you used to love, and if anyone may want to check it out, they could if they wanted to.
All right, not a problem. So I'm going to start off with my number 5 pick, and that's going to be Recess, or to be more exact, Disney's Recess.
Ooh, that was such a throwback. Oh my gosh, that was my show. Like TJ Detweiler and Spinelli and Gretchen and
Mikey,
Vince and what's the other one?
Gus.
Gus. Yo, that was a good show. So in case you guys don't know what that show is, it's like 6 brave 4th graders at 3rd Street School who are like literally Mission Impossible during recess.
The thing is, though, the show, for the most part, always took place during like the recess hours. So you would have like first recess and lunchtime recess, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you see what shenanigans they go up to. The thing is, though, when you really go back and look at the show, mm-hmm. It's actually really complicated because he had so many different like cliques and groups. And,
the Ashleys, the kindergartners, the 6th grader jocks.
Yeah, I know. And the one of the things with the recess crew is that they all came from like different walks of life, but they're like friends.
Yeah,
really close friends.
No, they're all different, but you know what? I give Disney kudos for this because like everyone was like a different race in this like as cartoons.
Were they?
Yeah, like Vince is black, and then Spinelli. Okay, I don't really want to.
Spinelli is like Italian.
Yeah, and like Mikey and Gus were like maybe okay. I guess they're not that diverse, but hey, it's a step. It was a step Disney was going in, I believe.
But this is the thing with me, like why I specifically picked Recess is that I remember waking up Saturday mornings and you had this new Disney block. For the life of me, I can't remember what channel, but I would wake up in the morning, Saturday mornings, and Recess was one of their premiere shows at the time. Mm-hmm. So I remember watching the first 3 shows on on, what was it, CBC or something like that, Saturday mornings.
No, it was Disney.
That came on like a few years later.
Oh, okay.
But this was a Saturday morning cartoon for like at least a year. And I remember watching it Saturday mornings, just flipping through the channel.
You know what? This show definitely made me think as a young little girl back in the day, like Recess was blessed. Like it had all these interesting kind of things. To be honest, nothing in this show actually happened in real life.
Well, no, like Recess had some really interesting shows. Like what I remember though was The Box.
Where, oh my gosh, that was the best.
Broke down.
That was the best episode. This is why if you guys are an adult, you can watch this episode and still enjoy it, because that I couldn't believe how that like affected Mikey. No, sorry, TJ.
TJ.
It affected TJ so badly because he got in trouble and like Miss Spencer like said, "All right, okay, we're gonna teach this guy a lesson. Let's put him in the box." And it's literally just a square box, like out, just made with chalk. And he had to like stand in there the whole time in recess, and like no one can talk to him, no one can acknowledge him, and it just messed TJ up. It was so funny.
I knew that Brittany would really appreciate that episode because it's like you can go into the study that it went through.
I mean, if you want to look at it in a like psychological way, like it's really interesting when you do that. But it is a good show. Some episodes were really fun, especially when TJ and Spinelli like had to kiss. Remember they had an episode where they kissed?
Nope.
You don't remember it?
No, not really.
See, I think I'm more of a Disney Recess fan than you.
It's not even that you are. I remember I had good times like waking up in the morning and watching Recess whenever I could find it, at least.
Yeah, but no, Recess is a good one for me. My top pick of a throwback from the 90s or early 2000s would be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
I remember watching that a lot, and it was super funny. And I don't know anyone out there who don't know the show, but it's basically, Will Smith playing himself and him, leaving, what's it called?
Well,
was it Philadelphia?
Like the thing is,
yeah, it was Philadelphia. He was
born and
raised. My bad.
The thing is though, like, in the first season, it was basically like tongue in cheek. Will was playing himself, but he was also a character.
Yeah.
And then second season, third season, he became more a character.
Yeah, for sure. And then basically he's staying with his uncle and aunt because the mom wanted to get him out of a rough neighborhood. And
he got into like a really bad fight, and he easily could have gotten killed, and it spooked the mom. So I told him to go live with your uncle in Bel-Air.
They didn't make it that dark the way you described it. Like, it sounded like, wow, it was really rough. But then he like made it into a fun rap just to be like...
Yeah, it was an underplay how serious the situation... Dude almost, like, he basically got into a serious fight and he almost died.
I did not know that. But this show was good. It had a lot of comedy and it had heart. And so this is why I would suggest you guys, if you want to watch it, it's on Netflix. And if you have never seen it, give it a try. It was a fun show. And I'm not saying because Will Smith is in it. Like, the guy who plays Carlton.
Carlton, like, basically stole the show.
That's who I thought was, like, really, like, a star. Because Carlton was, like, anytime he came on, I was like, oh, my gosh, I love Carlton. Like, he was good. And Hillary was funny, too.
The few scenes that she was actually in.
No, she was... Yeah, it's true. She wasn't, like, as much as Carlton. Yeah.
She was almost a guest star sometimes. I only remember one episode where you find out that she dropped out of college.
Oh my god!
And she was trying to keep it on the DL, but it came out, and their parents were really upset with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I don't remember anything else about her.
Yeah, I mean.
And she was getting married to this TV show host
guy
that we never got to see his face.
No, that was not. No, we saw him.
No, we didn't.
Are you serious?
We never saw his face.
It was Trevor.
Trevor, will you marry? And then he gets.
We see Trevor's face, don't we? Oh my gosh.
No,
okay, guys, if you've seen the episode with Trevor, and tell me if we've seen Trevor's face or not, because I believe we did, but I guess we never saw Trevor.
No, not once.
That's true. Why have we never? I don't remember Trevor.
You know what he looks like? Or anything. That was one of the things. Like, she was gonna get married to this rando, and we never see the guy's face. The died proposing to her.
That's
and we
true.
never once saw his face.
That's true. You know, Fresh Prince Bel-Air had some crazy episodes. I mean, a lot of people talk about that episode where Will's dad came in his life and was like promising him how he wants to, you know, start over. I'm not spoiling too much. And, people are just saying that episode was so powerful. I like the episode where Carlton got... Oh, I don't want to ruin this. But, hey, it's out there. If you haven't seen it, man, come on. It's been some time.
No, embargo. No, spoiler embargo. We're not going into any details. Be vague.
Okay, I'll try. Carlton's in the hospital.
Yes. You can proceed.
Will...
Yes.
No, it wasn't Carlton. Sorry. Oh gosh, I almost mixed it up. Will's in the hospital.
Yes.
Carlton's not.
Yes.
Something should have happened to Carlton.
Yes.
But it happened to Will.
I think it's the other way around.
No.
Where Carlton ended up in the hospital
no, he didn't.
Because of something that Will had.
No, that's the other episode. Wow, this is bad. Okay, he's talking about the drug one. That's the drug one. I'm not talking about that.
All right,
Carlton
which one are you talking about?
and Will were supposed to go to a bank.
Oh, that episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
I know what you're
So
talking about
Will's on the hospital bed and Carlton's not. And that's all I will say. But that, to me, that episode, when you get to that episode, that was the one that like triggered me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like so sad and powerful. And I thought the acting was amazing at the time. So like, kudos to them.
Okay.
It was I'm just saying, people are speaking about, Will and the dad one being such like a big deal kind of episode. And I'm like, I'm not saying that wasn't great, but the one with Carlton and Will, I thought it was really good.
It was more like they may be cousins, but they were closer than brothers in that episode.
It was so beautiful. Okay, Dre, what's your next top pick?
All right. You see, my number 4, and I gotta be honest, like, growing up, this was like my thing. Mm-hmm. I season 1, I watched season 2, then I watched it when it came out in season 3 and season 4. Brittany knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't, so.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Early 90's, I would come home from school and I would rush to find it, and Mom was not like the happiest person me watching it because it was so violent.
Wait, can I guess? Is it like a superhero show? Transformers?
Yeah. Not Transformers.
Pokemon?
It wasn't a cartoon.
Pokemon?
No, it wasn't a cartoon. This is the only show on my list that's not a cartoon.
Oh, it's not a cartoon?
No, it's not a cartoon.
Then I would.
It is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, well, I like Power Rangers.
But I'm talking about the original OG Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Is this the first Power Rangers?
The first Power Rangers.
Okay,
with Rocky, and then you had I'm talking about the first one too, where, there's a little controversy, but I watched the original Power Rangers, and then when they changed out the characters.
Wow.
When I was a kid, the coolest thing ever was having that evil green Power Ranger, Tommy, coming in, and Tommy! He was like,
"Yo, I do remember a bit of this, and Tommy cute."
I don't know how. Like, I was watching this though, and I'm pretty sure Brittany was just born.
Get out of here. But well, I mean, they had reruns, so I guess that's how I caught some of it.
No, it's probably the later series.
No, it was reruns.
Because they kept some of the
original actors.
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw the beginning of it all starting and
yeah,
stuff.
I'm talking about the original Power Rangers.
I see. I mean, I wouldn't mind being a Power Ranger. I'm not. And if I were to be one, I'm sure you guys can guess this, but I'll just tell you, I would be the pink Power Ranger.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I would be, literally, if I had a costume party and it was like superhero Power Ranger
we could easily do like a completely separate thing, because when it comes to Power Rangers, we've watched so many of the original ones.
You know what? I stopped watching Power Rangers when it got to Ninja Storm. Was it Ninja Storm? I stopped. Yeah, that's when I had to quit. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Both me and Britt, mostly me, but Brittany, have watched all of the Power Ranger series in between the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And Ninja Storm.
Yeah, I think it got to where they were doing dinosaurs, and I was like, okay.
Dino Thunder?
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but I think they started to lose me there. That's when I just quit.
Honestly, they lost me in, after, what was it? In Space?
Really?
Power Rangers in Space. They lost me there. I'm like, well, that's the end of a great series, but I'll still watch it.
Oh my gosh. But the reason why I think you and I watched it a lot, well, the reason why I watched it a lot is because that was like the only show you and I could sit and agree on. Because, like, you know, being a little sister, I wanted to watch anything that's super girly and, you know, what's it called? TVO Kids. And my brother was into other things. But you and I at least could watch Power Rangers together. As a little girl, I was like, cool, because there was a pink Power Ranger in it. So
it was the compromise.
It was the compromise for us as kids. Okay, next one I got here. Okay, this is bad. I didn't get into this show until I think it was like 2017.
Oh, now you're just cheating.
No.
You have no idea how many shows, if I did that, I would have on this list.
No, it's an early it's in the 90s category.
No, I know it's in the 90s, but you weren't watching it in the 90s.
No. So the one I have here for you guys as my top pick is Friends. I wasn't into this show when it came out. I was definitely young when it came out, but now, like, that I'm older, I watch it now. I've watched all the seasons, and it's just so funny. I didn't know it was funny.
Well, the thing is, though, like, when Friends was originally going out, I would hear about it from some people, and the thing is, though, a lot of the jokes, like, super went over my head. Like, I didn't get.
Well, that's the thing. When I was a kid, I was like, what? I just saw, like, grown-ups talking stuff, and the laugh track was in the back, and I'm like, what's so funny? And there's no colors, there's no cartoon. It's just people making some weird jokes.
No, it's not even that, though, because, like, well, I loved watching The Simpsons, and it's just one of my shows.
Yeah, that was your thing. But going back to why I suggest Friends, is it's definitely such a funny show, and it's something that you guys can watch and binge watch during quarantine time. If you haven't gotten into it, get yourself into it. Because I feel that I'm not the only one that has come late to the party of joining the Friends, you know,
There's a reason why Friends is like one of Netflix at the time one of Netflix's most popular shows.
Because people were starting to watch it, like,
or rewatch it.
Yeah, it's either those who watch it and want to watch it again, or those who have never seen it, like myself, and was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And next thing you know, you're like, wow, I didn't know this show was actually pretty good. So I mean, it's like a new generation is coming up, because there's people way younger than me, even teenagers are like Friends fans, and I'm like, what? Like, you guys weren't even
born when
not,
the show
not
came
born. You weren't even you weren't a thought. And you guys like Friends.
You didn't have to say it like
I'm
that.
just saying that's how far back. That's all. But yeah, Friends, I really think it's a funny show, and till this day I'll be like watching it here and there, and it is a 90s show that I recommend you guys check out, and you can watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
There's no promo for Netflix, guys. I'm just saying, if you have it there, you can watch it there.
If you're listening, Netflix, you know, you could sponsor our show.
Okay, Dre, what's your next top pick?
Okay, so my next third pick would be Marvel's comic book Spider-Man, or the early 90s Spider-Man series.
Oh, okay. I think I remember you watching that.
Oh, you more than likely would, because, dude, I love that show. Okay. Or do that. I'm not saying. I'm just, you know, like, to those who are listening, it was one of my favorite shows growing up. It was, like, amazing.
You know what show? Here's the thing. Spider-Man, I don't know. I think they still have, like, Spider-Man TV shows going on now. Right. I think on Disney or so. But I watched the movie, but if they were to make this a show, I would watch it. This multi-universe movie.
Oh,
Miles Monroe.
Miles, right? Miles Morales.
Oh, Morales. Okay, sorry.
So they're like the alternate universe.
Why did I say Monroe? Where did I get that from?
I don't know either, but like Miles, if they were to do like a Ultimate Spider-Man series, mm-hmm. and we just start off with Miles Morales, mm-hmm. like there wouldn't be enough people that I would recommend that to. Mm-hmm. But we kind of got that in the Far From Home Spider-Man universe. Because
here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm not going to get into it.
That's what I was about to say.
Like, the point I'm trying to make is though, like this Spider-Man series was really good, and it actually linked into my number 2 choice because they would have certain elements on it. It had its moments where, like, I remember once where Peter Parker went in and revealed his true identity to a sick girl.
In that series?
Yeah.
In that series of Spider-Man?
Yeah. Although it was a little bit on the darker end, though, because she was a terminally ill cancer patient.
Oh, so he showed her his identity to her.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Or you have a scene, though, where Spider-Man, it was continuing to mutate. So his mutation continued, so he became more like a spider. Oh, so he went to go get help from my number 2 choice. Anybody that watched that episode remembered will know what my number 2 choice is.
Anyone who watched that Spider-Man probably knows what Andre's talking about.
Heck, they had some scenes though where you have Spider-Man get falls into a lake and he's kind of drowning, and then you have like a guy come up to him and it's just like, "Oh boy," it's like, "I'll help you out. Wait a minute, you're not a mutant, are you?" And Spider-Man was like, "No, I'm not." "Okay, if you say so, I'll help you out."
That was in the show?
Yeah. And this is the thing, though. If Spider-Man said that he was a mutant, the guy wouldn't have helped him out. And he could just leave Spider-Man to drown.
I can't imagine a cartoon having all that. That's weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was a fun cartoon, right? But at the same time, it had its moments.
Okay.
And then they had the Spot Man, which was like an original bad guy they made in the TV show. He's not in the comics. Mm-hmm. But dude, that was probably one of the coolest powers ever. He just takes spots out of his body and he can use it to teleport. Okay,
you're getting way too into this. But anyway.
Long story short, I really love Spider-Man. 10-year-old Andre is just like, "Oh my god, Spider-Man, yeah!"
Yeah, you can't get him away from the TV when that show came on.
It's like, stop whatever you're doing. I don't care like what show you're watching. We're turning it off. I'm watching this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my next topic is that 70s show. Now, I came across this show through my brother because he was the one watching it, actually. Yep. I wouldn't say it's his favorite, but it was a show he would tune in.
I would watch it.
And he would watch consistently. It. Yeah, very consistently. So that's how I kind of saw what was going on in the show.
So basically, it's my fault.
Basically. And it's about a guy named Eric who him and his group of friends struggle in this whole like growing up, going through this adolescent phase. And it was pretty funny.
It's a group of teenagers growing up in the 70s. It sounds like a pretty boring show.
Do you know I thought it was actually the 70s?
Well, that's the point, because they dress up like they're in the 70s. You listen to the father and everything, though.
And I remember they smoked a lot of weed.
Apparently. Honestly, that went over my head for the longest time.
I didn't know it was weed.
I know.
That's how young I was. I just thought, I just saw them in a room full of smoke and they're just laughing a lot. And I didn't know that was the weed section of the show.
So innocent back then.
Very. But I remember wanting Donna and Eric to get together.
I remember Donna and Eric breaking up. I think that was the funniest thing ever because nobody believed Eric when he said he broke up with Donna.
Oh my god. But yeah, that 70s show was a show that I'm saying you guys should check out. Oh,
by the way, Britt, didn't like in that 70s show, right? Just putting this out there. Wasn't it like completely out of left field when the guy that always wears the glasses hooked up with the prissy chick?
Oh, you mean what's it, Jackie?
Yeah. That came out of left field for me. I was just like, wait, they're together now? What happened?
I know Ashton Kutcher's character, that would make sense if he was with Jackie, but the guy with the glasses?
Yeah, you know.
He was with Jackie?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Now I feel like watching the show again.
It came out of blue. They were just together. And I was just like, when did that happen?
You know what is another thing that I never saw coming? You know the show Malcolm in the Middle?
Yep.
His brother.
It's the same.
They're siblings, basically.
How did Malcolm in the Middle not get on my list?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
why? How is it not in your list?
How is it? No, I watched that show so religiously.
I didn't like Malcolm in the Middle. You know why? When I was younger, like, I didn't like shows that, like, stressed me out because that guy went through so much and his, like, family did not care about him at all. His mom was just crazy.
That was always the joke, though, because the whole thing is, I'm the middle child, so I always get ignored. And his older brother was a bit of a troublemaker. His older brother, the oldest brother,
went to the military.
Was, like, the biggest troublemaker. He was a legend.
Oh yeah, because all they did was like do pranks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
so they already had a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And Malcolm was like a genius.
No.
He was like he had a ridiculous photographic memory, and he ended up busting one of his neighbors for tax evasion. And everyone just sat down.
I didn't even know all this. I just watched it.
That's why he was friends with the black kid in the wheelchair, because he went to the same, like, super smart class.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the wheelchair guy. But, yeah, so the only reason why we said Malcolm in the Middle is just
it's an honorable mention.
It is an honorable mention because that's one of a throwback show I remember watching. And, yeah, I just don't even remember it. That's how throwback it was for me. But I did watch Malcolm in the Middle. And if you have watched it, click that like button and let me know. Okay, Dre, your next top pick.
All right. My number 2. And this one goes out to, like, a lot of the Marvel fans.
Okay.
It is the original 90's X-Men series.
Oh, yeah. Is it the one with the theme song?
Yes, that one.
Okay, I remember it because every living day.
And the thing is, though, I like the 2000 X-Men, and not my cup of tea, but that X-Men was my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved every X-Men.
It was a good show. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I remember watching a couple of episodes, and all I could honestly, I think this is a trait of mine from I was so young, because I can remember anytime I watched these like really, boyish shows with my brother, I'm always looking for the couples, and I was so here for Rogue and the guy Cyclops to be together.
Rogue?
No, Rogue. Yeah, and the Cyclops guy with the laser eyes.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Jean Grey?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know why Jean Grey. I mixed the names. I meant Jean Grey to be with the Cyclops guy.
Yeah, see, Rogue
is the one with the white hair.
So much fun, and I loved her southern accent. And oh my gosh, you have Gambit, and Gambit is like the best eater with his Crayola accent.
Okay.
They were like the best together, but they never hooked. Now she's looking at me. No, but in all seriousness, though, the X-Men team were really awesome, and you had like everyone working together. And one of the things that they did, like earlier on, that one of the X-Men, I don't want to say he died, but
did any characters die in X-Men?
You'll be surprised. Like,
really?
Honestly, yeah, you'll be surprised.
I know X-Men movies, but I don't know if
they basically did Days of Future Past, like flat out.
Really?
In the show.
Okay.
And then they had some episodes though that really hit me. Because the thing with X-Men, though, is that the reason why I liked it is more or less the point. Mm-hmm. More than the show or the characters. Mm-hmm. Because the struggle was basically, like, we're not, like, really liked in society, and we're kind of, like, outcasts, but we want to do good. Yeah. Whereas you had others, though, that were mutants as well. Mm-hmm. Because mutants were very strongly discriminated in the Marvel universe.
That's interesting. Like, some of these shows, especially when you look at like X-Men, it was all that it's kind of like an underlining of like discrimination and things like that shows within these cartoons. And I don't know, it kind of gives you a reflection on society. We may not have mutants, walking around us, but there is that discrimination against other race and things like that. So when you watch X-Men, which you can watch on Disney Plus if you have it, because they have the series on there, you can kind of just get a sense of that nostalgia, but also kind of look at it with a different eye just to see how things are done there. Because even in the X-Men movies, I've noticed that when you see Professor Xavier in First Class, like, fighting to, like, have humans and mutants, like, just be together. Like, they don't have to be afraid of us or, like, exclude us as if we're different. Like, I like with Marvel, they kind of try to bring some of that, like, education or if anything, that discussion, I should say, in, like, trying to have people come together instead of be apart. That's all. That's my take on it. It can be a completely different take than anyone else out there, and that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinion, but I'm just saying that's what I could see from just a couple of movies. Not all of the movies done that, because I didn't even watch the last X-Men movie just because I was like, I'm not gonna go there.
The message that Brittany says in the movies was significantly like watered down. X-Men lampshades both sides very, very, very well. Where you have the X-Men, like, which will fight to bring people in together and work towards helping out mutants.
Right.
Like, in terms of the troubles that young teenagers have and issues.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have Magneto.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too. So, I mean, I'm just, like, literally showing one side of it. This is what I'm saying. It's my opinion. It's what I'm getting from what I see in it. But also, you bringing up that interesting point. Yeah, I did notice that too. I just didn't mention it. Where Magneto's like, nah, we're going to kill these humans. Like, basically. But we're not trying to say go his path. But we're also, because we understand his side. This is why I like the First Class episode, the movie. Because it showed both sides. My brother's, like, ready to fight me.
It's not even that. Like, with the original X-Men cartoon, it's kind of...
I guess the cartoon shows differently.
People are people. And that was one of the things. It doesn't just take place in contemporary time period either. We go into Mystique's backstory and how she had to live throughout the generations. And then you have to go even further back in the past with Apocalypse. Then you go into the far, far future and how the conflict and the strife basically ruined the world for everyone.
But are you talking about the cartoon?
No, I am talking about the cartoon.
Okay, so like, the cartoon does movies, all of that.
The movies that
I was only talking about the movie.
Yeah. Kind of had a watered down message. Like, the point of people being people...
I never said that.
And sometimes people can be good and sometimes people can be bad.
But I never said people being people. You said that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, people being people, right? Like, it's understandable to be afraid of the unknown. That being said, like, people usually go through discrimination mainly out of lack of understanding and lack of human empathy. They're the other. That was one of the main points.
But that's what I was just saying. Like, in the X-Men First Class, you see...
Oh, well, no.
You see one side of the X-Men, which you were pointing out. You see one side of the X-Men where it's like they're trying to fight to show them, like, hey, we can work together. And then, of course, you brought about Magneto. I'm like, well, I know his whole tale is another situation. But I was just focusing on one of the positives in that, you know, wanting to work together instead of just, like, wanting to be against one another, which is kind of like Magneto's turn of things, because he just believes humans will never accept them. And that is this is coming from watching the First Class movie. That is only why I mentioned that in my X-Men knowledge, but I'm not doing the cartoon because that's all my brother. Like, he knows the cartoon stuff.
All right.
I don't.
I'm gonna go into the real historical people that they're based off of. Brittany's shaking her head, but here's the thing. You see, Magneto is the bad guy, right? In his methods. But his motivation towards doing bad is not necessarily coming from a bad place. So he's like the Malcolm X of the group. And Professor Xavier has always been equated to...
What is he? Like Martin Luther King?
Yes. And then you have other people that you would say as historical thing, like the guy that makes the Sentinels, giant robots that are designed specifically to hunt down mutants. That guy was always an analog to Reagan.
Okay, but the president?
Yeah.
And is this like your own opinion, or this is something you read?
It's been said. I'll just leave it at that.
Lord, okay. Well, if you guys are curious to see the deeper and underlining things in X-Men, you can check it out on Disney+. My next top pick is All That.
Seriously?
Yeah, this was a show of mine when I was young.
Of all the shows, All That.
All That. It just stuck out to me, man. Like,
I was expecting...
That
oh, this is your number 2.
That. It's not my number 2. I have a bunch.
How many more do you have?
I have more than you, apparently.
I only had 5.
I know, but I just went overboard. I couldn't stick to 5.
Why do I have to stick with 5? All right, so we're putting back Malcolm in the Middle.
But no, all of that is one I recommend. I don't know how you guys are going to find it. I think you can just watch some funny ones on YouTube. But they do have it rebooted. Like, they have a new All That. I haven't watched it. But I am happy that at least younger kids now can check that out and have a bit of their All That nostalgia, just like we have for, you know, Amanda, Nick Cannon, Keenan, and Kel. Like, those guys were funny. And it was a Saturday Night Live for kids. So I thought that was very clever. Like, when it first came out, like, this is the first, like, All That. Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing I can remember about All That was the Good Burger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. I'm gonna take your order. I love that.
And the thing is, though,
and then
I used to work at McDonald's, so I understand
and then
the struggle.
But then he's just like, I'm a dude, you a dude, she's a dude, and we're all dudes. Hey, I'm a dude. I love. If you felt that with me, click that like button or comment, because that was my favorite part as a kid, watching that on All That. And what else was on All That? I mean, Amanda Bynes was on it, and she was funny.
I was expecting you to say her show.
I like that. Well, I would group them because they were kind of similar. Amanda just got her own spinoff and, like, did a lot of sketch, you know, and then All That was, like, everybody else in there.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Because, no, you still really love All That. I'll watch 1 or 2 clips, and I'm just like, yeah.
No,
whatever.
yeah, because I was younger. So this is my top pick, Dre. So
no,
you don't have to be in agreement.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just surprised. There's a lot of other shows that I thought she was going to pick.
Yeah, well, this is one of them. And what's your next top pick, Dre?
So my next top pick would be the original OG series, the early 90s series of Digimon Adventures.
I don't know why. It's like I thought it in my head that I'm like, he should say Digimon. And then afterwards, I was just like, whatever he says. But he said Digimon. So, hey, I'm right in my mind.
Well, Brittany would know because I am one of the biggest Digimon fans.
Yeah.
I'm not just being contrary. Like, back in the day, everyone was about Pokemon. I want to be the very best. Yada, 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 whatever. But the thing is, though, I loved the Digimon series. And it was a really, really good story. Just thinking back on waking up in the morning to watch it.
Just thinking back brings tears to my eyes. Is that what it is?
I don't know why you're laughing at me. Because, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, my God. I could just feel the emotion in your voice. Like, well, no, I'm not going to cry, but Digimon was real.
Man, there are some episodes that just really impact me. Like, my favorite character is always going to be Best Bros, Ty and Izzy.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that was a show or a movie, because I remember watching the Digimon movie, and it was when Ty got his Digimon, and, like, the girl couldn't talk, but she can blow a whistle.
His little sister, Kari.
And as a little girl watching that with you, that, like, made me cry a lot. I don't know. I didn't cry, but I felt emotion. Like, I felt sadness.
Yeah, because
and I'm like, I'm too young to feel this. What is this?
Well, that's just it, though. Like you have the entire Digimon series, and then they came out with the Digimon movie that I immediately
where it all began. Is that the movie where they show where it all began? Because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in the original series, Koromon said, "Hi Ty, how are you doing?" And it's just like, "Hey, have we met before?" That was in the original series, and they're like, "Well, yeah," but they never lingered on it because a giant beetle monster attacked them. And the first time he digivolved into Agumon and then digivolved into War Greymon.
You know what? You know you're a fan of the show if you remember all the names, because I just know the name Digimon. But you're just like Agumon and like something, and I'm just like, what? I don't remember anybody.
Well, I can tell you all the names.
Well, it is your favorite show. No, you don't have to. Thank you. We got Google for that.
Fair enough. But no, like, the original Digimon Adventures movie, I really loved that growing up. And it's probably really a good story about growing up.
Okay. Well, that's a good positive on that. For me, my next top pick, and you know what? These are honorable mentions. I'm going to say is Danny Phantom. If you guys don't know, now you know. Danny Phantom was a good show, and it wasn't a 90s show. It was a 2000s show. So if you guys can even just, like, It's the early 2000s, I should say. And if you guys could go on YouTube and check that out, like find any Danny Phantom episodes if you can, or just some clips. It's really, I loved it. Danny Phantom was a good looking cartoon. Okay, can we just take that in? Like,
I'm taking it in.
Take it in, all right? Like,
No,
I was just like, oh my gosh, Danny, like he's he's such a cool guy, and he was like nice.
That Danny Phantom though was a really good show.
It was so good, and it's basically a teenager guy, just teenager guy. That sounds so.
No,
horrible.
I mean total
it's a teenager dude.
That's a good honorable mention.
Yeah, Danny Phantom. I would say it became my favorite show. Like eventually, it wasn't at first. My brother was really into it first because of course it looked like a boy show, so I was kind of like okay, and I just was so girly at the time that I wasn't into like watching things like that. But it became my favorite afterwards because I followed the show with him.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. You would watch some of the shows that I would watch. Because you would stay up with me and watch some of the X-Men shows, the original Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, because you like had control of the TV. And you know what's funny? I didn't know how to use the TV. I didn't know where to find these shows.
You say that though.
I didn't.
You
Sometimes I would have to
watch
I
it.
had to ask you. I'll be like, what's the channel for like my Disney? Like I didn't know how to work the TV.
You say that though, but
Everyone
you stayed
did.
up with me to watch some of these shows.
I did because I didn't know I didn't know how to go to Disney Channel.
No, back in the day, like if you're watching X-Men, that was 10 o'clock on Teletoon.
Yeah, but that wasn't like me coming to you saying, Drake, can you put on X-Men?
No, that's
it was like you were watching it and I just sat there.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Danny Phantom, now that I knew like where to find Nickelodeon and that came on, like I would watch that on my own and I liked the show. And it's this kid who not kid, I shouldn't say kids because he was a teenager. Some teenager who becomes a ghost and starts hunting ghosts that's, all over the planet with his best friends, Jazz and Tucker. No, Jazz is his sister, my bad. And Samantha.
Well,
and
you gotta be
Tucker.
a little more specific. Like, he's a half ghost.
Half ghost,
Half ghost, half human. And he's just putting back the ghost that escaped from the ghost zone.
Yeah, because his parents are ghost hunters. And, if you're into it,
they made a portal by accident that let the ghosts out. Mm-hmm. And in making that portal also gave Danny his ghost powers.
I'm so sad that the show ended because, like, it was a good show. I think they could have gone long. Because when I see SpongeBob and Fairy Odd Parents still going, I'm like, why did you end Danny? Like, Danny could have still gone. My next honorable mention I have is Kim Possible and the Proud Family. So in case you want a little nostalgia of like cartoons and you're into that, or if you've seen it and you remember them, those are good throwbacks. Because even Kim Possible, it wasn't a bad show.
Between the two that you just said, like I can sit down and watch an episode of the Proud Family with you, no worries. Mm-hmm. And I really like the first 2 seasons of Kim Possible.
Yeah, I mean, Impossible was good, and then it just got a bit weird. But other than that, it was okay. And the next one I got is The Amanda Show. That was one of my honorable mentions. And Drake and Josh.
Okay.
Those were good. Oh, and Zoe 101. I could go all day, guys, but I'm not trying to give you too much. But Zoe 101 is a good throwback, too.
All right. Can I do a quick honorable mention, too?
You can.
All right. So honorable mentions for me would be the original Metal Box series.
Don't know that, but okay.
Oh man, I love that growing up. Mm-hmm. All right, another one would be, what was it, Yvonne of the Yukon?
Oh my god, that guy with the underwear?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that brings you back.
I thought you were gonna say Life as a Teenage Robot. I remember you were really obsessed with that show.
I was going to, but now that you mention it.
It was this robot child. I was like, okay. Oh, I should have said Jimmy Neutron, but
no. I would have picked Dexter's Laboratory over Jimmy Neutron. Yeah. That was your show.
Jimmy Neutron was for me. Dexter's Laboratory was for you. Me. And I would say for him, another honorable mention is another nice throwback would be Hey Arnold. I think you liked that show, but it was very depressing.
Well, the thing is though, like if you know me, you know I like jazz, and it's because of Hey Arnold. Why
they
I like
didn't
jazz.
even focus on jazz so much.
Oh no, they did. They had some episodes, so they did play some beats.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for our last top pick and like our ultimate top pick for me would be, my brother mentioned this and I just thought maybe this would be a good one. I did watch it. I did follow it, but I wouldn't watch it now. That's the thing. I can't sit through it and watch it now as an adult. But it would be like one of my throwbacks is Lizzie McGuire. I really got into it, especially with the whole Lizzie McGuire movie. You know what? I would suggest watch the Lizzie McGuire movie. I think I can sit through and watch that, but I can't do the show.
Brittany really went out of her way to watch the show back in the day, and I couldn't for the life of me get it.
Well, it depends.
Zoe 1-on-1 was funny, but Lizzie McGuire, I was just like,
you know what? Like I was like that kid that just was like sit there and just watch. I don't even know if some of it, like I processed in my mind.
like I would watch Pepper Round and not feel any way, and Sailor Moon and not feel any way.
Oh, you know what? Forget that. Scratch that. My show growing up as well was Sister.
Exactly.
That was my show. I was like, Lizzie McGuire, like maybe, but Sister was hilarious.
Sister was one of those shows though, like we would go out of our way to watch.
Yeah.
And I honestly meant we, because you and me would sit down and watch it all the time. Just like Fresh Prince, but more so Sister.
Yeah, Sister. And my mom also remembers me watch. I'm telling you, I've watched bare shows, but this is why I can't just say one. Like top pick, like my ultimate is Sister. Side with Lizzie McGuire and Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, every morning before going to school.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
And Ninja Storm.
Yeah, for you and I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what's your top pick? Like ultimate.
My ultimate top pick. Mm-hmm. And I had quite a few that I was going through in the back of my head, but this is my number one top pick.
Okay.
That would be the Powerpuff Girls.
No way. That is so not your favorite show. Don't
like,
troll the listeners, Dre. Don't troll them.
I loved that show growing up.
I can't believe I can't believe I didn't remember. I had a Powerpuff little dolls.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, me and Brittany would watch it all the time. I really loved that show.
It was a really good show.
So Powerpuff Girls is like my number one.
Right. And I can't believe I can't remember. I didn't remember that.
I'll just put this on the back burner with Courage the Cowardly Dog. Mm-hmm. But if I had to pick, I would prefer to watch Powerpuff Girls than Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Okay. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls was a show. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls. I haven't seen that in so long. Okay. Yeah, so those are our top picks, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed them. And you guys can write down on the comments down below your top picks of throwback shows in the 90s and early 2000s, because I know there's a bunch more out there. We're just naming the ones that we watched a lot as kids and, you know, growing up into preteens and such. So if you guys have any suggestions of what we could watch for our Throwback Thursdays, let me know, because I think now that we're quarantined, it's like, why not have a day like Thursday to watch some throwback shows? So who knows? I might just watch some Sister episodes with my bro, or I might watch Dexter's Laboratory. Not really what I want to do, but I'll do it for you. Or Digimon, who knows? We'll just go off and just watch everything we have on our list. So think of throwback shows that make, you know, get you guys in some good feelings, because I believe when we are reminiscing on this, it's like we bring such happy memories. And in a time like this with, you know, things that are going on right now with COVID-19 and such, it's just really good sometimes to take a seat back and look at the good old days. And of course, some of these shows really bring that nostalgia feeling. So tune into those, okay? Mm-hmm. Now I have a little game for you, Dre. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think everyone knows this game, but if you don't, it's called Would You Rather. Ooh, okay. Making my own sound effects. So Would You Rather is basically what, you know, it's like, would you rather this or would you rather that? And you just pick one. Okay. All right, simple, easy. So I got one and you might ask me one, and we'll basically answer them together. Okay, would you rather only use only be using a fork or only be able to use a spoon?
So,
but no fork.
Like, you can't. I use a fork, but I can't use a spoon.
Yeah, like
or
ever.
I could use a spoon, but I can't use a fork.
Yeah, like ever.
Spoon. Next.
You were so dead straight with your answer, like spoon. Why a spoon?
Simply put, you can eat more food with a spoon than a fork.
Like, I mean, you can't eat ice cream with a fork.
That's why I pick spoon.
No, but
you can ice cream, soup, rice, meat.
You can't eat meat with a spoon.
You can eat it with a spoon, yeah.
I'm gonna struggle eating chicken with a spoon.
You will struggle, but it can be done.
For me, I don't know why I feel tempted to say fork. I just like that it can pick it up for me. Spoon, you're just scooping a lot. And ice cream, I just use a cone. I wouldn't have to be dependent on a spoon.
Why is it specifically ice cream though? There's so many things you can eat, but like just ice cream.
I mean, the spoon. What else can I eat?
Want to go out for ice cream after this?
I think I'm craving ice cream. Okay. Would you rather have to read aloud every word you read or sing everything you say out loud?
You see, I already do the second one, so I'm just going to stick with it then. So I sing everything out loud
Just
anyways.
imagine, like, I'm in a library and I'm like, ooh, look at this. And it's like a title of something.
It's just one of those things. So it's like, I don't even, like, realize that I'm doing it. Sometimes.
That you're singing everything you
Out
say.
loud. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that I already do the second one.
I feel like people are gonna find me so annoying for this, but yeah, I'm gonna sing everything I say out loud. So I'll be like, "How you doing? What you doing?" Like, just find it, like, just sing it. Okay. Would you rather have everything you draw become real, but be permanently terrible at drawing,
yes.
or be able to fly, but only as fast as you can walk?
Okay. So, I know for a fact that there was a animated series or an anime called One Piece that had a character that was terrible at drawing, but everything he drew came to life. And there was another anime that I'm quite fond of that's called Overlord, and you can fly, but you don't really move as fast as, like, jogging. So if I had to pick, I would prefer to fly. And not really fly very fast, but just float around in the air and stuff. That would be awesome.
I'm just wondering, will I feel tired if I fly instead of walking? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Probably.
I won't be fast as walking, but will I feel like I didn't walk? You know, when you finish walking, you're like, whew, I'm kind of winded. Like, I'm tired.
It depends on how you're flying. You see, in One Piece...
Andre, we're not going there. Oh, my God. If you guys are into One Piece, I mean, let me know down below and I'll see if he can do a whole podcast on it. Jeez.
No, I'm just saying, though, like, in One Piece, though, you know how they fly?
No.
They kick the air so hard.
No. Okay, so I would say be terrible at drawing, but everything I draw comes to life. I feel like I'm already a terrible drawer. So it won't be as bad when it becomes real because I'll be like, it's kind of what I made.
I know that I'm not a good drawer, so...
Yeah, like if I was a good drawer, I'd be like, no, I'd rather fly, but only as fast as I can walk.
I just want to fly.
I want to draw something and it can become real.
Okay.
But like, imagine it's like really disturbing looking. It's like it was my best work. Oh gosh. Okay, next one is: Would you rather be a famous director or a famous actor?
Director. Next.
Director, me too. I was thinking director. I was like, I would just I like creating a project and like having that vision come to life. I don't care to be an actor.
I'm the type of person though that don't really like to be like in the spotlight kind of a thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't be a lot of fun for me. But being a director, you help to like get the production going, organize everything behind the scenes and get it going.
Mm-hmm.
Having like a good director though can make or break a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like the backbone of it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're appreciated too because you're famous. So I think being a director would be awesome.
Yeah, I would rather be in the director field, like just creating something and everyone enjoying watching like a movie I made. Like that means more to me than like being seen for like some acting I've done. I'm not saying actors aren't good. They help make the story come to life. No disregard to them, but I just rather like have it just. I'd rather be the backbone and just like making it all happen, like having a say of like picking who is supposed to be in the movie and like literally showing that image in my mind come to life. I think that's more fun for me. The next one is: Would you rather have amazingly fast typing / texting speed or be able to read ridiculously fast?
I would prefer to be able to read ridiculously fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of books and stories out there that I'll just, like, read through it and be like, all right, this is the best.
I would love to read ridiculously fast. Like, oh my gosh, I would just read every single book I see because then I just know I will be able to read it super fast. The next one is, would you rather eat rice with every meal and never be able to eat bread, or eat bread with every meal and never be able to eat rice? Andre has to take a moment.
That is a hard one.
I mean, I think I don't love rice, but I don't love bread. I just eat it.
Do I get the opportunity to pick the type of bread? Is it like only sliced bread?
It's eat rice with every meal, but never eat bread, or eat bread with every meal, but never eat rice.
I like my rice. I really do. But I would be hard pressed to say bread. There's just more flexibility with bread than with rice. I can make my own bread. I can make flat bread. Make a pizza. That's technically bread.
No, that's dough.
It's bread. Well, what's a cooker's bread? But yeah, I'll go with the bread, just because there's more flexibility with the bread than rice. Because after a while, you just get sick of rice.
I'm gonna pick bread too. I feel like I'll do some stuff with bread. Bread has a bit more options, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, would you rather be consistently tired no matter how much you sleep, or consistently hungry no matter how much you eat?
To eat and eat and eat and always be hungry, that's just the worst. So I'm going to go with the sleep. I'd rather be constantly
You know what
sleepy.
I just thought of? I thought of you as like one of Snow White's, like one of the
Seven dwarfs.
Seven dwarfs that, and they're sleepy, because that guy was always sleepy, and it just looks sad.
I would prefer to be sleepy all the time
than hungry
and be able to drink coffee.
You would be very dependent on coffee for sure.
Or then to balloon up like a Oompa Loompa and still be hungry.
Yeah, I'd rather be tired than always hungry. I feel when you're hungry, you feel messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I you know that whole like saying of hangry, you're angry and hungry?
Yes.
That would probably be me if I was always eating and still hungry. Because like you're just never satisfied.
But like, yeah, I'd rather be super tired than super hungry.
Now, last but not least, I found this one question here. Would you rather always be able to see 5 minutes into the future, or always be able to see 100 years into the future? 100 years in the future? Dang. And then 5 minutes? So wait, just imagine like I can see the future 5 minutes of what happens after you and I are done. Like, is that something cool, or something like, well, it can come in handy if someone's going to die and I can just like push them out of the way before the 5 minutes happens. Like it's up.
You see, I don't want to say anything because it's super nerdy. So I'm just...
It's anime? Are you going back to an anime thing?
I have like 4 in the back of my head that had similar powers.
Oh, jeez. But okay, for me, I would say 100 years. I don't know for me to see 100 years into the future, what will that do? Like for me personally, like what am I seeing though? It depends on what I'm seeing in the future. Like if the world's ending, then I'll be like, should I warn people?
Well, if you can see 100 years into the future, you can prepare better for it, and you would have a good idea what the trajectories are moving forward. So you can do stuff or make choices that would impact your life for the better or for the worse.
You know what? 100 years, because I can definitely help prepare people now if I see that the 100-year future don't look right.
That being said, to be able to look 5 minutes into the future can be really effective in avoiding danger and prevention. Like, well, if you can see 5 minutes in the future and you're going to stub your toe, then you'll know how to avoid stubbing your toe. If you can see 5 minutes into the future and you're going to get mugged, you can make enough... You have enough time...
I'm not going down that alley.
You have enough time to make a change so that future won't be impacted.
So basically, 100 years is like, I'm going to make sure I don't... Like, I can help save the world. and 5 minutes has helped save me or anyone who's near me in those like close proximities.
Let's put it this way. If the future is like completely static, written in stone and cannot be changed, then 100 years in the future is not a complete write-off. But if the future can be changed, or we don't have to deal with like a butterfly effect kind of a thing, then it's safer to just look in 5 minutes. If you can change the future dramatically, you're more likely to do more harm than good by knowing the future. So 5 minutes is more than enough.
I'm going with 100 years because that's a stressful daily life for me. Like every day I'm trying to prevent something bad or whatever based on the 5 minutes I see ahead of me. But 100 years, I feel like that'll give me time to like help make things right along the way. And like, I don't know. That's how I see it.
I'm picking the 5 minutes.
I'm picking 100. Thank you, Dre, for joining me on this podcast. That was super, super fun. And, you know, you are welcome back anytime since we're quarantined together. Well, you're basically my only guest co-host for today and like until we're out of quarantine. But I love doing these top picks with you. And if you guys want to see some of them, you can check them out on Disney Plus if you have, or Netflix, or the internet somewhere. Somehow find it there to watch some of these throwbacks.
Like ABC Access or for Recess?
Maybe. Recess would be on Disney Plus for sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so any of those shows I gave you guys, I suggested the ones like as adults you can like probably sit back and watch and not feel any way, as against someone like, for example, Lizzie McGuire. I'm not shading it, but I can't sit and watch Lizzie McGuire again. I just can't do it. It's not my thing right now. But if you feel for it, go for it. And remember, I can
probably say the exact same thing for Power Rangers. The original Power Rangers. So I don't think I can sit down and watch that.
Okay, guys. So if you like what you heard, click that like button. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. And remember, you can follow us on the social media platforms and the links down below. You can listen to this podcast on YouTube, and there are others on Podbean, so check it out and continue to spread the positivity. And by that, you can also purchase one of our merch to just show that you are vouching for positivity and looking for it in every situation. Thanks again. And we'll be back on Thursdays, so keep an eye on us because we're coming. All right, thanks bro for coming again.